Dark Kid.
Hello everyone and welcome to Just Put Paint on It here on SkaredCast with me, Skari, your grateful host, my wonderful co-host Tanya, and our wonderful guest, Angela from Hobby Night. Hello!
Hello!
I'm really excited to have everybody on today. This is the every Friday hobby, sit, and sometimes paint show that we do on YouTube for all of you. It's like you can put us in the background and listen to us discuss the theoretical aspects of life and paint. Trying to be really fancy here. It's not working. I'm just
we will be talking about the theoretical. What did you say of life and paint?
Of life and painting and stuff.
Of life and painting, yes.
That's exactly how it works. Of course, I'm continuing wonderful Drucanuary, which is all of Drukari, all of January. Hashtag trademark pending. And if you want to join in that, you can. I'm doing Incubi. Okay. So before following ado, Tanya, why don't you tell us who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you do.
I'm Tanya, and I'm from Canada, and I play Warhammer pretty much exclusively. So you can find me on my YouTube channel where I do very short videos explaining very complicated rules of Warhammer 40k. And you can also find me on Forge the Narrative podcast and my own Instagram where I post musings on life and all of my hobby stuff.
Nice.
That's where you can find me.
I love it. And of course, Angela, you run a YouTube channel called Hobby Night, which focuses on a variety of different games. Anything from, I see you playing like video games, like Inquisitor.
Oh yeah, no, I do a whole bunch of things on there. Yes, I'm Angela. I run Hobby Night. The channel predominantly focuses on hobby things, so whether it be miniature painting, board gaming, video gaming. We recently got into Lego really hard, so if you're into that, we also have some of that on the channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
We do sort of a variety show of different things, kind of just whatever strikes my fancy. I tend to make a video about it and then I post it online and share it with you guys. You can find me at hobby_night across all the social medias, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that kind of stuff.
That's fantastic. Talk about Lego. I think the last large project, 'cause I have a 10-year-old. I have a 10-year-old son, and we do hello chat. We'll say hi to chat. Make sure you post questions and stuff. We'll get to you in a second. But it was the Harry Potter castle, like the big 10,000 piece or 8,000.
Oh yeah, the Hogwarts, like the actual
full Hogwarts castle. That took us forever. Like it was on our table forever. But then we finally
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Man, this coffee, by the way, on a completely other note, really delicious today. I just French pressed some coffee. If you don't know me, I bounce around a lot. I have squirrel brain. Okay, so what are you working on today, Angela?
Today I am doing some cleanup on some Star Wars Legion minis that I actually was painting on my channel on Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
And so I've got some cleanup to do on them because I work in contrast paint a lot, and so I end up getting some contrast colors sometimes where I don't need it, and so I just go back in and tidy things up. And he's got some nice purple robes, but I had to do some layering on the wash to really get him the color I wanted, and that ended up getting some purple where I didn't want it. And since the rest of his colors are going to be yellow, I think it's very important that I tidy that up.
That's awesome. Yellow and purple. That'll be a nice contrast, eh? It's like a good color. Star Wars Legion,
Absolutely.
I started painting some rebels. Some
Nice.
filthy rebel scum. I have
filthy rebel scum.
That's verbatim what they are called. That's their army list. Army list of filthy rebel scum.
I'm pretty sure that is officially how they're doing the Empire.
I love it. Well, let's go into chat. Nurgle Matthew says, "Hey team, what's going on?" Mark Korn says, "What's up?" Sindri says, "Afternoon from Georgia." Hello. Afternoon
Nice.
from a fresh coat of snow, Canada. Glyphs Hollow says, "Hello." Jordan says, "Hello." Akko waves. Lissombra says, "Squirrel." That's me in a nutshell. Excellent.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Angela, how long ago did you kind of get into hobby stuff? Considering that over the last, I want to say decade, being a nerd or a hobbyist has sort of made its way into the mainstream, you know, like where it's like cool kids can be nerds now too, but you know, when Tanya grew up, and you know, I'm assuming like as you were growing up and as I was growing up, like being a nerd was like closet stuff. Like you didn't really broadcast it to the general public, you know. So when did you start like getting into hobby stuff, and yeah, and like what was your hobby journey?
Well, so for tabletop gaming specifically, I kind of had a two process introduction to it. When I was very young, and Pokemon was brand new, I was living in Hawaii, and so I just dove headfirst into the TCG world. I didn't actually play the game, but I was a super big collector, and that sort of introduced me to nerdy things in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was in college, I joined the tabletop gaming club that my college had, and they predominantly focused on both board games and wargaming, specifically Warhammer. So that was the first time I played Warhammer, and pretty much ever since then, I have been playing, painting, gaming, and some variety. I think I took like a little bit of a break during, I guess it was the 6th and 7th edition from like Warhammer specifically. But I still did a little bit of board gaming, still video gaming and everything like that. So I've always been a little bit of a nerd. And I definitely did not hide it when I found Pokemon for the first time. I wore Pokemon stuff all over the place. Like, I didn't care.
Well, Pokemon, I feel like I do remember when I was like in school and Pokemon became like a thing. I do remember that was everybody was into Pokemon. A lot of people were into Pokemon.
I feel like it did kind of overwhelm the world for a little while.
It kind of still does. There's Pokemon everywhere. Like
I know. I'm bitter because it's not the same anymore, and I don't like where they've gone.
Didn't Ash just like finally retire or something like that?
Yes, finally. Like the poor boy just finally got to like, you know, go and
got to be 10 years old. Got to be 10 years old for 20 years. Is that how
something
that worked?
Like that, yeah. 25 actually. I think they've definitely passed their 25th anniversary because I remember when that set came out.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Tanya, thank you for answering that in chat. That's really funny. Prankster saying no, who was Prankster? No, Market Corn saying, when did Tanya ever grow up? I feel betrayed.
I would never betray you like that, Mark. We will be children forever.
I think in a sense we all are just never going to grow up. Just by the nature of things. I wouldn't want us to grow up either. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why would I want to grow up? I wouldn't want to grow up. I want to stay young and stay young 100% of the time. I don't feel like I'm growing up. You know, like I just had my birthday recently. I don't feel like I'm getting older. I just feel like I'm staying the exact same age. However, when I lift things or walk up a flight of stairs, that reminds me that I'm not younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I have a degenerative disorder, so my body lets me know that I'm not young anymore, but my heart and my brain are young, and that's all that matters.
My heart and my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what armies do you like play? Like you said, you play Warhammer. Do you play just like 40K? Do you also play fantasy? Like what sort of games?
So I've never played fantasy, unfortunately. I did collect a little bit before like Old World was dead, but I didn't get into it that heavily until it had unfortunately gone away, and then my sweet Tomb Kings were gone.
Tomb Kings! Tomb Kings! I literally have like boxes of Tomb Kings.
I want them so badly. Like I want every time Games Workshop even hints at like bringing the Old World back and has those stupid articles where they just have a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
Like of drawn art, and I'm like, guys, this is not what people are looking for when you have news about the Old World. We want to see what miniatures you might be working on. Please give us at least like a hinting of some sculpts. Will there be Tomb Kings? That's all we all want to know, because I feel like everybody wants them to come back.
Tomb Kings are one of those like iconic Old World like armies. If there's no Tomb Kings, I will rage quit a game that I'm not going to start playing.
I hope that they do bring them back. Like, it would be smart of them to. Hopefully they'll listen to the fan community. I mean, they did with the sisters, and
squats too.
And for squats, yeah, and they were rewarded, I think, for that. So hopefully we'll get Tomb Kings. But when it comes to 40K armies, I started with Space Marines. But Crimson Fist specifically. And then when I got back into the game though with 8th edition, I transitioned into playing Death Guard, and that's pretty much what I've run since. Although I have slowly, and any of the fans of my channel will know this, I have been slowly for 2 years basically working on building an orc army. It's just been excruciatingly slow process because I keep getting distracted by other things because
Squirrel brain?
I get bored yeah, pretty much, yeah. I get bored sometimes with like long-term projects, so I'll deviate to something else, and then I sometimes don't come back to those long-term projects like until it's much later. So yeah.
Yeah, one of my goals is to finish what I start, hence why I'm like, you know, trying to make sure that I finish things. Like I am starting projects, you know, like I'm doing these nomads and stuff, but that's more for like work, whereas like we're doing a campaign for mini wargaming. So I was like, I'll play the nomads. I'm like, do we have any models already painted? And they're like, no. I'm like, shit. So now I have to start. Now I have to paint all of these nomad models. Excellent. So that's going to be exciting. But like, for example, even though I'm doing that, I have to make sure I finish this unit of incubi, because if not, it'll never get finished. So I need to like force myself to just do it. Right?
I understand.
Just put paint on it, folks. That's how it works.
Just put paint on it.
Well, it says, I was recently listening to 40k audiobook, The Dark City, and the description of the Drukhari made them sound utterly repulsive in a good way. They were disgusting. Yes, Dark Eldar are not a fun culture. They're terrible. Terrible, like, alien race. They're just awful. Didn't we talk about that last episode, where we were talking about, like, this Archon that, like, femurs, and, like, his whole ship was covered in femurs?
We definitely talked about it last season.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah.
I mean,
The
is that
chimes.
really gross when like the rest of the world is also just covered in skulls and other bones as well? Like, I mean, femurs aren't that bad.
That's true.
Well, they have wind chime skeletons that like still can feel or something. So when they move, they scream.
No, it was
Slanesh, it's fine.
that's why we birthed the Slanesh god, right? Because they were just like, we just went too far as Dark Eldar. Too far.
Zero chill.
Zero chill. We partied so hard we birthed a god. So this chat is brush lickers, yeah, I know. There we go. I know, it's just a thing. I know you're not technically supposed to, but by the time of it, I think, you know, it's like iocane powder, you just build it resistance over time. Right? And then you become immune to it.
That's definitely not how it works.
No?
No, I'm pretty sure you're just not supposed to. I mean, thankfully most paints these days are non-toxic, so you'll probably be okay, but
I think it's too late for me. When I started, I'm pretty sure they were all pretty toxic. And still looking away at the brushes. Even, then again, I did paint with some oil paints, and I definitely learned not to lick those brushes real fast.
Yuck.
yeah,
So,
because it's oil.
yep. You know, when you need thinner to clean your paintbrushes, right? You probably shouldn't put that crap in your mouth.
When you gotta use acetone to clean your brush.
Tomb King's return, says Mark, but they lean hard into the feline aspect, spawning all the undead into Hello Kitty armies. What? Where's that?
I mean, I'll take a cat girl army. That's fine.
That's a weird Nagash sort of like, hey Nagash, what do you want? I want an army of felines. Raise the kitties.
So he's just most weeb boys on the internet. Okay.
That's why he's just hated by everybody. He's like in the dark in a corner.
Nagash is like the genie of old. It's like, yeah, he'll grant you your wishes, but you'll not want it because he'll just twist it violently against what you actually want.
Until the Skaven show up and literally mess up every plan he ever did. Silly
I love
Skaven. Aw, thanks, Prankster. We definitely need to have that chatbot cat time back up again. Yum, 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 yum. We used to have this chatbot that used to do like sounds when we did this on Twitch all the
Nice.
time, and cat time was one of them because we had cats that showed up all the time in chat, and we also had cats that showed up on the stream all the time, which was really cute. So,
Oh, like you mean like your pets? You mean?
Like
Actually, I was like,
physical
what are you
cats,
like
yeah.
wild cats showed up? Were you out like?
you know, it might be Canada, but it's not that wild, okay? Like we're not. If anything, there's some mooses that'll show up. You know,
Oh man,
they'll,
that
like,
would. I mean, that sounds more dangerous.
That is very dangerous. Mooses are no joke, everyone. They will kill you.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Don't.
don't approach a moose.
Yeah,
Don't try to feed them.
they will kill you. Zambi says never grow up.
Hey, Zambies.
AKO says still into Pokemon. Laugh my ass off. Nice.
Nice.
Well, that's good. I got into Pokemon because my 6 or 7-year-old got into Pokemon, and I learned how to play the card game just to play with him. So
Nice.
So he has way too many Pokemon cards, you know, but he doesn't use any of them. Like a
That sounds
true
classic kid.
gamer. Yeah. Like a true gamer, he has lots of cards, and he buys more all the time, or gets them for presents. Doesn't use a single one. Although he was going through them and he found this one. He's like, "Oh, look, Dad, I checked out how much this one's worth online. It's worth $500." I'm like, "Wow, cool."
Well, if it's in a certain condition.
Yeah, it's like it's like not like used. It's in a sleeve and like.
Oh, is he a pure collector? Like he just immediately sleeves them? How old is your
He's
kid?
10.
Like 6?
He's
10?
10.
Okay, 10 now.
Yeah, he's 10 now. But he like a lot of them just got sleeved because they looked pretty. You know what I mean? So we just sleeved them.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
I knew a bunch of kids that were that when I worked at a game store, there were two varieties. There were the ones that you could tell were going to be like the investor collector type because they immediately sleeved their stuff as soon as they opened it if they got something rare. And then there was the rest of them who like were just putting their hands all over everything and immediately started playing with them and, you know, valuing them if you were going for the collector route.
Yeah, well, they say even with Lego, like a lot of people who buy, 2 sets of Lego, right?
Mm-hmm.
They buy one to build and one to stash, and hopefully, like it ages like a fine wine, you know, like its value goes up over time. Because apparently Lego is also collectible, like in that sense.
Yeah, Lego's collectible. I would say like it's weird because I definitely there are people who having just like really dived into the Lego community, there are definitely collectors out there and they will buy more than just like 2. They'll buy like 1 to open and then they'll buy like 6 to keep on hold because they'll either like gift them to people over time or they literally are just like hanging on to them to then sell them later when they go out of print at a higher price because collectors and other people will want them or need them for mocks or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do get really valuable. It's really funny though. A lot of the value in Lego is in the boxes and the instruction manuals. Because you can't I've seen some of the like really old like modular sets, which are the ones that they did of like various buildings that you can kind of take apart but then put back together really easily and have like scenes inside. So there's some really old ones that if you get them in box, they're like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But if you buy them pre-assembled, already like built without the box and no instructions, you can get them for like what they were selling at their like retail when they first released.
Right.
So it's really it's the box and the instructions that people supposedly like value weirdly, and I don't understand that particular aspect of it.
Well, I should probably then take a look at the literal drawer of instructions I have from like the 90s.
Well, I think the instructions are only valuable if you have the like pieces because people will be like, "Oh, well, I want to build this."
Oh yeah.
So it's
I
cool
have
that
the
you have
pieces in
Okay,
a
cool, then,
big
yeah.
bucket. I just have to go digging.
My goodness.
Like old school.
Well, then yeah,
like-
maybe them will be more valuable. Like I said, they're most valuable with the box. But I do think the instructions are important too.
I have to check that. That'd be really cool. What do you mean says too many? Yes. What do you mean too many? Well, you know, it's never too many. Think about cards as 1 drop of water and the card is worthless. Says hi, Carl Ray. You don't want to sleeve cards there, Tanya?
No, I don't. Was my husband's side hustle for a really long time, and he made some good money at it, but we had just cards everywhere, and like we had to sleeve things, and like his turnaround was really good, but it was still like it was some work.
Yeah, I guess it's like at that point it's like, is it a hobby or a job sort of thing?
Oh, it was a job. It was
Yeah.
definitely a job. He wasn't playing then. He was just buying, selling, trading.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool. Now, do you also play something like Magic or stuff like that, or do you just focus on like Pokemon and Lego?
I a little bit of Magic, but never really got super into it. I'm not personally. I'm just not a card game person. Like I said, I played a little bit of Pokemon when it was first brand new, but I really got into it from the collector side. Like I was one of those kids that opened their cards and immediately sleeved things, or at least put them into a binder. I wasn't like so crazy to sleeve them at that time because I was like 9 or something. But I just wasn't thinking about it because I didn't have like an adult who understood the value of future geek media in my life. But I did at least put them into binders immediately and never played with them and didn't touch them again. And I touched them again in the sense of like I stared at my collection and went, it's almost complete. It's almost complete, because this is back when there was only one, set or two sets.
So
And I
200 was
like,
it
"Yay,
100 Pokemon or whatever back in the day? It was like the 100. Now there's like thousands of different Pokemon.
Oh yeah, there's thousands of different Pokemon now. It was 150 originally, but like even the first card set didn't feature all 150 Pokemon. It was only like half of them or something like that. But like you could get, they told you how many cards came in the set, so I had almost all of the cards in the set, and I was like, ooh, I only need like a couple of these rares. And I kept buying, and it was a lot of fun. I think between my sister and I, we ended up getting the entire collection, which was pretty cool. And then it got progressively harder to keep doing that because they just kept coming out with more and more cards, and I sort of gave up at that point because I was like, I don't know if I can like manage this. Like, it's a lot. But I never really played Magic either. I did a little bit in college, just because the guild that I was part of, or not the guild, but the club I was part of did have a Magic scene, and I gave it a shot. But honestly, I enjoyed Warhammer a lot more, and the attitudes of some of the people in that particular section of the club was mildly toxic, so I kind of just avoided them.
Yeah, it's funny how like in the same sort of like store or environment there can be such different people, right? And a lot of the times they gravitate towards like a specific game system or culture,
Yeah.
Within that, I find that sort of like sociology aspect of gaming very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also annoying because trolls be trolls.
Yes.
1008 Pokemon now, says Alex. Cool.
Amazing.
That's a lot of Pokemon. Like, I know my son was, he recently, like, put on a YouTube video that had, like, literally music playing, and it was, like, all of the Pokemon that were going in, like, succession or whatever, and they were, like, showing all, like, 1,000 Pokemon with all their variations or whatever, and it was a very long video.
I can imagine so.
Which was kind of nuts. Well, that's really
especially
interesting.
since a lot of them have, like it's not just evolutions now, because there's variations and like, did it go over the shinies? Like,
yeah, it was like if
too?
it had every, so they went through like every Pokemon and then like every variation. So if they had a shiny, it was like one of the but if one Pokemon had like 10 different types, they was all on like one shot basically, right? Of all of the different types of the same one. Yeah. So they'd be like, I'm assuming showing off like the shinies and stuff as well or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Jordan says, Pokemon died for me when they came out with the ice cream and keychain style Pokemon. The ice cream one is pretty funny, not gonna lie. I don't know, what are you worried about ice cream Pokemon? Ice cream Pokemon's delicious.
I mean, they do eat some of the Pokemon, so that's like canon.
Is that true? Really? Like the meat one, like the cow ones or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, they I mean,
they're like cattle basically.
There's a lot of theories about Pokemon that like, I think humans in that world are technically just Pokemon that evolved to be I guess, the dominant Pokemon. I think is like the fan theory. I don't know. Matt Pat and his game theory stuff. He's got a bunch of like Pokemon ones, and they're all very interesting, and talk about it and everything.
That is definitely very interesting and also very dark. Kind of like Jar Jar being a Sith Lord, which he totally is.
I've not heard that one, and I refuse to accept that because no.
You should. It's like this whole Reddit thread. There's like this giant Reddit thing that was like very well written with like.
Yeah, it's actually a really compelling fan
It is
theory.
a very, very compelling
Yeah.
theory, but it's like I can totally see it. Just, I mean, and I like it in my mind's eye, being like he's just a Sith Lord. You know what I mean? Like he's
I mean,
not-
he did put the Emperor into power, so
he
makes
not
sense.
only that, he like accidentally destroys all the droids and like anyway, it's like, you know, accidentally gets himself involved with 2 Jedi that are important and like, you know, messes things up. Oh, accidentally, you know, like it's just really it's just a very interesting sort of theory. I like it.
I'd be more inclined to believe it if I didn't know that like Lucas just put him in there for like childish comedy. Like,
Yeah. Do you guys ever watch that film Superfans or whatever it was, where they like drive to see like the not Superfans, was it Superfans? Anyway, they take like a road trip to go to watch like the premiere of Star Wars, or they like try and like break into Lucas's like mansion or something like that to like see all the Star Wars stuff. They like run into a character that has like Jar Jar Binks, giant Jar Jar Binks tattoo all down their back, being like, this character's gonna be the best.
amazing.
And I was like, nope. No, it's just really funny. You'd love the cheese string Pokemon then. There's a cheese string Pokemon? What? No. Get out of here. There's not a cheese string Pokemon. Unless there is, and I'll eat my words right now. And maybe that Pokemon, because it's peckish. Delicious. A few Transformer Pokemon now. They're going to the Transformer franchise now too, eh? Interesting. How can you not have heard the Jar Jar Binks dish theory? Is that what it's called?
Mostly because I'm not on Reddit.
Reddit is a cesspool. It's actually been it's been a slow burn for me. Like, I found some nice communities on Reddit, like the Necromunda community is really nice since I like joined in on there, and like the Dark Eldar one isn't bad, but like Warhammer competitive or I don't even like tread on those. I'm like, I might post like if I do a video, I'm like, here's a battle report, you know. But even then, they're
I
like,
don't.
you know, yeah, whatever. If they want to watch it, they will. If not,
Yeah, no, just like the amount of just awful misogynistic comments and stuff. Like, no.
Nikki says, hey, Nikki, it's Spark Mini. Says, happy Friday. That's right. Hi, Nikki. What's going on? Nice to see you.
Hey, Nikki.
Here is the string cheese Pokemon. You're actually like posting a link to this string cheese Pokemon prankster or something. That is crazy. Prankster giving us the like actual Pokemon we all want to see. Cheese. Cheese Pokemon. Okay, I need orange now. Orange color. I think this is Fire Dragon Bright. It's the color I'm going to do on this. Jordan says, I like the Astrum of the Tarum sub. It's pretty welcoming. That's good. It's just a shame that it's like, you know, it's like, okay, without the age of the internet, okay, this is like the theory. It's like all the village idiots, right? You know, without the internet, we're like on their own. You know what I mean? But now the internet has allowed them all to interconnect and create village idiot communities, which then converges into Reddit, right? And then everything.
I like this theory. This is a good theory.
And then I don't know. They might have some like, they just have like a keyboard that's like, you know, just really enjoys getting typed on, and they're like clickety clickety clicky, yes, keyboard, yes, you know.
Yes, queen.
And so they don't really listen to themselves typing. They just like obsessed with the clickety clackety noises of their mechanical keyboards, you know. Anyway, while they're in a dark basement.
And
like
they turn
it.
into the penguin, apparently.
Yeah. They even have, after typing so much, their hands become penguin hands. They're like, and they have to like type with like Like, Nikki says, I'm dying at work. I wish I was working on my Sigvald. Ah, Sigvald, the most fabulous of Hedonites.
The best assless chaps in the business.
He's really fun to use on the tabletop. I play Age of Sigmar all the time, and I have to like force myself not to take him, or I take him every game because he's fabulous.
Are you like not allowed to bring the same thing more than once?
No. Like we are encouraged doing stuff in mini wargaming to make sure that we like switch things up, you know, because people don't want to see the same thing over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. But as the competitive player in me hates that. Because when you want to practice and get good with something, you want to practice and do the same thing over and over and over and over again, you know, and kind of tweak it a little bit, but like get good with it, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Whereas the like fun, like, yeah, let's do whatever person in me is like, I don't want to use the same unit twice ever, you know, and I just want to use different things all the time. Hello, Ryan. How's it going? Anyway, yeah, so whatever. Now I get to paint some cool soulstones.
Nice.
Yeah, the cool thing about Incubi is they literally, well, Dark Eldar in general are mean to soulstones. They like crack open the soulstones and like suck the soul out. It's like a delicious snack.
Prankster says, get good, scrub. Don't tell me what to do, Prankster.
You're not the boss of me, Prankster.
If I want to be a trash tier player, I can do that.
Prankster is old jokes. It's in his name. Do you play Minecraft, Angela?
I used to play it a lot. It's actually how I got started on YouTube. But I do not play currently. I've tried it a little bit. Like I think I checked in on a vanilla server, or I think I just started a world on like with my Xbox Game Pass, because which is the newer one. But I used to play on like the PC version, like the old Mojang one back in the day. And then I also used a lot of mods.
Yeah, people really enjoy those mods, like and people who like playing Minecraft a lot. I'm just a vanilla Minecraft player, but it's like my little getaway when I have like, you know, a couple of hours to kill and do nothing. I literally just crack open like Minecraft and just play it for like, and I'm like mindlessly like, you know, hitting rocks with a little pickaxe or whatever for like an hour. Oh yeah,
totally.
It's like so zen sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I enjoy that. That's fun. There's also Minecraft Lego, which is really cool.
I have some.
Nice. That's probably the one my son loves the most.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's some good sets in there. I like their minifigs a lot, actually. Of all of the this is not a standard minifig that they've done, I think the Minecraft ones are my favorites, because like I'm not a fan of the mini dolls. I don't like the new ones. I don't like the old ones. I don't like them.
Isn't there like an orc in there or something that they made recently?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we lost Angela. Her whole setup froze. Please hold. We shall try and fix this as soon as possible for all of you. Let's see if we can bring Zata back. You froze. Bam, bam. Anyway, hopefully she comes back. I've been enjoying this conversation, which is really fun. Begin the elevator music. You know, there is...
Mark, nice.
That is verbatim, like literal music. There you go. You wanted music? We brought you music. That's how this works.
Just fill it in your head.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny. You're all amazing. Thank you, chat, for coming and hang out with us today. It is LVO coming up, which is really exciting.
Oh man.
Well.
So
I
excited,
am
but also
excited.
nervous.
Yeah, I'm also really nervous because, it's one of those things where, people expect so much of you if you go and you're like a competitive player, and I'm like, that anxiety always gets to me when I go to a tournament. But once I start playing, then it usually dissipates. But until then, I'm a nervous wreck.
Really?
Yeah, I still get really anxious.
Interesting. Well, I'm not going to play, so I don't have that anxiety, but I have the anxiety of I don't know, my biggest anxiety is that I'll be alone in a sea of people, but I do have my Forge the Narrative bros who are gonna at least hang out with me one night, so that's good.
Hey, Pranks, Duff, thank you so much for the super chat. That means a lot. Thank you very much. Skari, you legend. Tanya, you gem. I propose a Skari, Tanya, and Duff hang out next weekend. Oh, that'd be really fun.
That would be really fun.
I definitely... Actually, I think we have, one more spot for Season 4? Maybe Duff could get in on it. Are you free during this hour, Duff? We could get you on for just put paint on it. That'd be really fun, too. I'd enjoy that. I'd appreciate that. Okay,
Me too.
Okay, look at this. I am on the fly making this chat look incredible. Just give me 2 seconds, everybody. I'm literally on the fly editing this because we had a technical difficulty with Angela's stuff. So hopefully she, maybe her phone died or something or whatnot. So 24 to 32. So this can maybe go a little bit. Oh, no, it's a little bit smaller. To 34. That's about right. Okay. Then we can put a chat in here. Where's the chat? Chat? No chat? Oh, so we have to go to... Just
I love when you narrate your whole process.
I'm trying.
It's just the
okay?
best. It's
I'm
the
trying.
best.
Copy. Discord 2 people. Paste. Paste. Duplicate. And then we bring it down. Oh, no. This one. We bring this one down. Aha! Look at that. I am a fucking genius. Ta-da!
Hey, language.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I was very excited. I did all of this on the fly. Everybody, thank you so much for continuing to hang out with us. Look at this. It's the OG crew. Hopefully Angela can join us again. But the show must go on. That's
always and forever.
That's how this goes. Okay. Her internet went down.
Oh no!
I believe she's in California, right? Which means that there's been crazy rains and monsoon weather out there. I don't know how big California is, but I'm assuming it affects everyone there equally. So,
yikes.
Just join back when able. Smiley face.
Is the new balanced data slate and guard in play?
At LVO?
No.
Not at LVO.
No, unfortunately.
No. No Arcs of Omen. No Arcs of Omen. No data slate. Oh, there we go. Hooray!
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Oh no, let's get rid of this here.
Randomly
Yay.
lost internet and I don't know why.
Not a problem.
I did grab, if you're still interested in seeing them, the orc minifigs because I was trying. Okay, let me see if I can get them to focus at all.
Is it just the one? That's the one style, right?
Oh, so what it is these are part of their collector minifig series. So if you ever see a Target or Walmart or the Lego stores and they have those little blind bags of just minifigs, they come in that, and he's one of the rarer ones, I think. I don't know how I managed to get 3 of them. I bought 20 bags from my local Walmart. I tried to feel and see if I could tell what I was getting. I couldn't. So I just was like, screw it. I'm going to just grab 20 of them. That'll probably get me at least half of the complete set anyways. And hopefully I'll get some of the ones that I really, really want. And I got super lucky and I got 3 of the Orc and I got 3 of the Falconer.
Nice.
And I got 2 of, and this is not him in his actual form, but there's a minifig that comes with a carrot costume and this little farmer's market sign. But I got 2 of them, so I turned my part of my clone army into farmers, and they're going to my farmers market with
That
their little
is
like
that is
excess
awesome.
stuff because I've bought so many clone packs because I've just been doing clone army building.
That is awesome. Did I not paint this one? Oh my god. How did I miss one guy? Shit.
I mean, I do that all the time, so.
Yeah, I was like, ah, look, I finished the green on all of them. I can use this green for something else. And then I literally didn't. I pick up this model. I'm like, wait, I didn't do the green on this one. Ah, for crying out loud. So
no.
now I have to finish what I'm doing right now, and then I need to put the green on it. I have to get the green and open that again. Anyway,
You got this. It'll be fine.
I do
The
think
life of a painter.
I don't like inefficiency. Wasting time. A leg orc. Yes. Leg orc. I feel
Yes.
like you could literally make like an army of 40k with like Lego orcs, and it would be hilarious.
I mean, you probably could, but it might be a little expensive. I think this figure is like... I mean, it's not super expensive. It'd still be cheaper than buying Warhammer.
Yep.
Let's be real. But I think like this guy's going for like $8 or so a piece.
Still
Right now
cheaper
on-
than your average 40k army.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's really funny every time I hear people in the Lego community complaining about the prices of Lego, and I'm just sitting over here laughing, going, I spent $300 on a single box of miniatures that I have to not only build, but also then paint.
Yep.
Whereas I then also spent $300 on Lego and got like 12 sets of things that I can still build, but don't have to paint.
Yep. It's usually how that goes. It's crazy how, like, once you put it into perspective, like, people complain about, well, sometimes, people complain about, say, Lego and say it's expensive, but then you go, hey, well, what about this? But then you can also go to, like, oh, what about Warhammer's expensive? And then, like, pull up or point them towards, like, golfing as a hobby or something, and you're like, it's
Car
not like...
collecting, anybody that's into
motorcycles.
fashion. Well, like even, yeah, like cars, of course, and motorcycles and like any like electronics or big like technology things, but then also people who are really into handbags.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some
Or
women who
shoes.
spend thousands of dollars, or shoes, exactly.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of dollars on like a single handbag that they'll never use. Like, I don't get it. It brings you joy. I mean, I get that part of it, but that's the only part of it that I get.
Yeah, which is, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. But, everybody spends their money how they want. You know what I mean? Like, if you have
Exactly.
a hobby and you want to do something with your hobby, and that is collecting handbags, sure, we'll have at it. If it's, if it's playing little toy soldiers for fun and, building little war zones and rolling dice and, then have at it with that, too. It's a wonderful thing
Exactly.
about our hobby. We can... all walks of life, all sort of like styles of people. We're still nerds.
Mhm.
Lewis says, hi from England. It's great to have you guys to
Oh.
paint along to. Nice. Well, thanks for coming to hang out. I know it's like an awkward time. 12 p.m. Eastern. It's like not evening enough for the UK, and also probably like not afternoon enough for like Eastern Standard Time, and not really like it's too early in the morning for for the West Coast. But we're having a good time.
What? Who thinks 9 is too early in the morning for the West
Me.
Coast? Oh, okay. Never mind.
It's also I would before we used to do this show like what, an hour earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was we did that for a long time, didn't we? A couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
I've done enough podcasting and stuff with some people in England where I'm like, listen, they make me get up at like 6 in the morning to
Yeah.
do stuff with, so this is nothing.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad it's 17:45 here in London. Well, yeah, well, it's 2023 here in Canada.
I think he means that it's 5.
Yes. Yes, he does. I just make silly jokes. I can't wait to do some more. Oh, that's something else I want to talk to you about, Angela. You've gone to a variety of different conventions recently, right? Like I saw you go to, was it GameCon or I don't know, some con? of some sort?
I've gone to I went to Silicon, which was a maker convention hosted by Adam Savage, and then I went to Crunchyroll Con, which is the app, the anime platform. So it was basically focusing on a lot of the animes that they publish, I guess, or broadcast.
Yeah.
And then Fanime was the other one that I went to. But yeah, I try to go to. Oh, and I guess I went to KublaCon as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you enjoy going to cons? Do you try and go to like as many as you can? Is it select few that you go to, ones that are close by? And are there any ones that you'd really like to go to in the future?
Well, definitely. There's definitely some that I'd like to go into in the future. I used to go to cons a lot more when I was younger because I used to go to anime conventions a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to like Gen Con a couple times and I want to go back. I've honestly just been waiting for like travel to be easier. Before doing that. I'd also like to go to like what's the one that's happening in the UK for GW? What do they call it?
Warhammer Fest or whatever?
Yeah, Warhammer Fest. Yeah. So like that would be cool. I also want to go to the Spiel des Jahres, or not the Spiel des Jahres. That's one of their actual titles. Essen, I think is what it's called, or whatever the big board gaming convention is. That's in I think like Germany or somewhere. Every year that I know a lot of the board game people go to. Like, that would be really cool. So yeah, there's definitely some conventions. I don't try to, like, I don't have to hit, like, every con. I've never been... Like, I've never had a circuit, for example. Like, I've never done, like, a yearly, this is the cons that I always go to every year sort of thing. But I try to go whenever I can and have a good time with them. I used to use them mostly for shopping, if I'm honest. Like, I used to go to anime conventions because that was the one place I could get the merch that I wanted the most because it wasn't available in stores, and now I don't really feel that need because it's all available in stores.
Right. Yeah, now that it's mainstream sort of thing.
That's why I like the gaming conventions, because at least then you're connecting for other reasons.
Yeah, like meeting and greeting people. Like this weekend, Tanya and I were talking while you were gone. It's LVO this weekend, and so we're gonna be going to that, and I'm really excited to see people that I haven't seen in 4 years or such a long time because of the pandemic. At the same time, it's gonna be my first time back since I went in like 2019 or whatever, which is like my first ever.
Oh, nice.
So,
I've never gone to competitive like conventions where you play like competitively for war games.
Yeah, like I enjoy it. At the same time, I need to like make myself time to go to like a convention like Adepticon or something like that, and then not go for a tournament. But it's hard to do that when like one's practicing for like Team Canada and like trying to be like like on like competitive teams and being a member of the Art of War and stuff like that. It's like if I don't go to competitive events, I'll like vanish into nothingness because I will cease to be relevant. So I kind of like have to go and like be like, fine, do the old Rocky montage, be like, look, yay, I can still beat people with toy soldiers, and then be like, okay, let's move on to something else. Like playing Necromunda, which I love, and it's really fun.
I mean, there's other stuff at LVO besides just like the Super Major.
Yeah, no, I know, and that's really cool. Like, I could go to those. I'm saying, as a professional wargamer that has like competitive coaching and stuff, like I'm sort of like expected to go to the competitive event.
Right, but like if you don't make it to like the top 8 or whatever, you have a day to do
Sunday
fun
it's
stuff.
gonna be super fun.
Yeah,
I'm then again, if I make it, awesome. If not, I'm gonna be walking around chatting. We're doing like a little Patreon to get together and stuff. It'll be really fun. Okay, cool. Well, LVO. Yeah, would you ever go to that, Angela? Like, or is that
not
like one of those like man?
LVO's. I mean, I would go as a spectator, but I have no desire to play Warhammer on that level. I just find that like the more, in my personal experience, the more competitive that I've got with it, the less fun I have with it.
Yeah.
So I just have always kept it very casual.
Yeah.
There's a
Makes
lot of
sense.
casual stuff that happens there, and I think it's actually quite a shame that a lot of it gets overshadowed by like the super major 40k tournament. But there's a totally narrative driven 30k event that's happening, like Horse Heresy event that's happening that weekend, and like there's all sorts, like there's a night joust. I guess it's just like you bring your like titans and knights, and
I think there was a 10-year-old one I lost last time or something with his little
yeah,
knight.
like
Yeah.
and like I didn't know any of that stuff existed because it's all just overshadowed by the super major.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I guess, the PR, right? Like what
Yeah.
gets the PR of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, quick hobby question, okay, to both
Yep.
of you. And I am looking for advice here.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So, I'm going to be painting these nomads. Okay? They're like really busy models. So anybody that's at home, you can kind of see it there. So these nomads here. Now, I don't want to paint them poop color, right? And I don't want to paint them, well, because like brown or like ash wasty, you know. At the same time, I don't really feel like painting them gray, right? You know, just like city. I don't want to paint them city. I kind of want to paint their robes like an off-white, because I feel if you're in the ash waste and the sun and the beat and stuff, but it's not necessarily just the sun, it could be chemicals or whatever. I'm like, what sort of colors could I use that then works well with like a base color? Because I don't just want to do sand color base. I want to make it like, I don't know, more interesting than just yellow, you know? Anyway.
Okay, so so you're going to be painting the clothes kind of like Rey's outfit in Star Wars.
Yeah, with a combination. I probably do like, see, the thing that I do when I have no idea what I'm going to paint is I'm going to paint all the belts belt color, you know, so like brown. I'm going to paint all the like pouches like brown too. You know, I'll paint like the metallic areas metal, you know what I mean? And then and that'll kind of cover a lot of the model, so then the rest of it becomes a little easier for me to paint. So the rest of it will probably be like a mummy robe, like a yellowy white, not like a white, but like not like an ivory white either. Like here, this probably gonna just base it off of
like
this.
the old like
mummy
Ushabti
robes.
bone.
Like this,
color?
I don't know. It's like an off-white.
I can't see.
It's like a warm white, if that makes sense. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I would go, if it was me doing nomads, what I go to in my head is I would do Agros Dune really thin so that you get it paler, so it's more of a like a tan, almost khaki color with a little bit of a yellower undertone, so that you still get that sort of sand vibe.
Okay.
And then I would do like, to complement that but still have it be deserty, do like an olive green. So like orc flesh or something like that. And then like I would add maybe an accent color of either like a deeper purple or yellow if you wanted to still keep more with the desert.
I do like purple.
It's a good color. I'm not biased whatsoever.
I do a lot of my, like, if I can use this color, the one I use on my Incubi on the blades, which is like a purple, that what is it, Vallejo Warlord purple. If I can use that on more than like just my Dark Eldar, I'll be very happy.
I mean, like why not have like that be the trim color and then your predominant color be the lighter, more deserty tones. Like I did something similar to this. The reason it came to mind was because I did something similar to this on a Mandalorian that I painted up. I did like a tan armor on her, and then I was basing it off of like Sabine Wren from the Clone War, or not Clone Wars, from Rebels.
Yep.
And how she does a bunch of like illustrations on her actual Mandalorian armor. So I did like patterns and stuff, and I used yellow, green, and I think I had some purple. I think I used purple for her clothes, like the undergarments, just to have a darker accent color.
Interesting. And what were you gonna say, Tanya?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Cool. If you do remember, let me know, because I definitely want to figure that out as well. Well, we are coming towards the end of the show, and it's been a really nice time sitting, chanting. Oh my gosh.
Painting.
Chatting and painting. is now a new thing called chainting. Thank you everybody for hanging out. So Angela, why don't you tell people a little bit more if they've just tuned in about Hobby Night, and if you have any projects coming up, maybe they can look forward to something. And I know you do some streaming as well on the Hobby Night channel for like video games and whatnot, so maybe what the schedule is, and I'll be making sure I put a link in the comments down below so people can go and check it out if they don't know where you are already.
Sure. For those of you that are just joining us, before we head out, I'm Angela. I run the channel called Hobby Night. On there, we do a variety of different things. It's sort of a hobby variety show. We focus on not only painting miniatures, so I do tutorials and guides, but I also do a hobby news segment every Monday. On Tuesdays, I have a hobby live stream starting at 1 p.m. Pacific time, where I am either like painting something up, sometimes I'm building Lego, it really just depends, but it is all very hobby oriented. Then on Thursdays, we just started a podcast. Right now we're talking about The Bad Batch, so if you're a Star Wars fan and you're really liking that show, you can chat with us about it because I have been loving it. Oh my god, it's so good. Fridays, we always have some sort of hobby video. This Friday, I can't give you a huge number of details, but I have a very exciting unboxing, and I'm super hyped for it. I think everybody's going to really love it. It does. What I will say is it involves orcs,
Nice.
and that is all I'm going to say. But I'm very, very hyped for that. And then Saturdays, I do a second live stream, also at 1 p.m. Pacific time, where I will be playing some sort of video game, because that's just sort of my like casual video game hangout. Right now, I have been playing through the Star Wars Lego, the Skywalker saga. I think in the next episode, we're going into episode 5 because we've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going into what is that one? The Return of the Jedi. No, what is the name
Empire
of
Strikes
episode
Back?
5? Empire Strikes Back. Yes, thank you. I've only watched the original series like twice, so I always forget. But yeah, we're going to be playing through Empire Strikes Back on this Saturday.
That's awesome. That sounds really, really fun. Quick question from Lewis, who says, what's your favorite Warhammer 40k Battle Report channel, except for PlayOn?
I will be honest, I haven't watched a lot of battle reports recently, but I used to watch Tabletop Tactics all the time. Like, I loved them. I love their stuff so much. I'm really excited actually to see that they're actually doing Age of Sigmar stuff finally. I need to check some of those out. Because I know that they had promised that like way back in the day and then hadn't done it forever. So it's nice to see that they're actually doing that now.
They did a huge Kickstarter, right? To like fund a whole bunch of the armies. So they could like basically...
Oh, is that what happened? Nice.
Yeah, so they ran a big Kickstarter and like they had like, they were able to get like a bunch of armies for stock for everything as well. So then now they've been doing them a lot. Age of Sigmar, great fun game. I think Tanya would agree. It is, I feel, more refined than 40k in a lot of ways, even though it's a little crazier. I feel like it's
I would agree.
It's a fun game, but they've refined a lot of the things that I wish they would put into 40k.
I think they're slowly building, like bringing that in. I really feel like 10th edition is going to look a lot more like Age of Sigmar than
certainly
it's going to look
so.
like.
Right now, the biggest thing you've seen is like Space Marines. They just did it. They're like, here, all your, and with Guard and stuff, and like some of the newer books. I
was gonna say everybody. If you're talking about the here your war gear is free, they've done that with like everybody.
Exactly, and that's the thing where it's like, that's literally Age of Sigmar. You just have like this: how many points it costs to buy 10 dudes or whatever, and they can either be equipped this way or this way, and each thing is different, and it's up to you however the hell you want to hobby it. It's that like you can choose, right? And I think that's really important for the hobby. Anyway, but thanks a lot, Angela, for coming on. This has been super, super fun. You're welcome on any time. This is very entertaining. Tanya, when you finish up with letting us know where people can find the LVO coverage, because you're working with the stream.
Yeah, so we actually have a landing page now for all of the streams. So that includes Frontline Gaming Network, that includes Deep Game Spain, and all of like the other language casts as well. So I believe if you go to just frontlinegaming.com, then like it should just be up there.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll be on YouTube and Twitch the entire weekend. I'm not sure if I will actually be I might be doing like the Duncan interview, but I don't know if I'll actually be doing much else. It kind of depends if everybody shows up on time, whether or not I end up on the camera. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Forge the Narrative Podcast and my own YouTube channel.
amazing. Of course, check Tanya out. She's awesome, and you should check her out if you haven't already. Other than that, thanks a lot everyone for hanging out. I've been Skari, your grateful host. This has been Angela. This has been Tanya, and don't forget, everybody, to hashtag just put paint on it and hobby your way. We'll chat with you on the next video, which will be after LVO. And if you'd like to support the channel, of course, best way is on Patreon. The links are down below. Thank you very much, Duff, for the super chat. That means a lot. And thank you very much, Prankster, for your YouTube membership. Other than that, you're all amazing. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.